Another beautiful day for fishing in the wilderness. But this may not be the wilderness you're used to, and this is definitely no ordinary fishing hole. Where else in the state are you able to fish against the backdrop of the Manhattan skyline?
Would people in general think this is a place to fish? Probably not. If you're an average fisher person, you would know about this spot.
Kevin Jeffrey and Jim Gilmore are avid fishermen who live, work, and yes, fish in the city. This mid-autumn morning, Tim and I joined them on New York's East River between Manhattan and Queens. Believe it or not, it's one of the more productive fishing spots along the East Coast.
You can catch flounder and fluke during the summer, porgy, sea bass, blackfish. Just about any fish that you can catch in this part of the East Coast, you can catch right here in this river.
This is a surface plug, so it's going to stay up towards the surface.
Today we're on the hunt for bluefish using basic spinning rods and artificial surface lures. Because the East River is a rapidly moving body of water, our boat's in constant motion looking for schools of bluefish. It's hard to believe they thrive just off the shore of one of the world's most populated cities.
When you tell people that you're going fishing in the East River, do they look at you like you're crazy, or?
They look at me very strange at times. But actually the water is very clean. The water's been cleaning up for years now as a lot of restrictions on industrial use of the river. And it's actually a very clean body of water.
Clean body of water where you may be surprised to learn the fish are edible. Restrictions do advise against eating too many of some species. For bluefish, it's 1 meal per month. But the amount of contaminants in this river has decreased over the years, and the fish are back.
The fish are very resilient. They live here, they exist here, they reproduce here, and they're very healthy. The populations have come back because of the improvements in the water quality and the management and the resources.
So we know the fish are here, but the trick is finding them. It may be time for a more potent form of bait.
So, Kevin, you decided we're going to fight fire with fire, huh?
We're going to offer them the sirloin.
Okay, the sirloin.
They didn't want the regular off-the-grill barbecue, and now we're going to go for sirloin. What we're going to do now is we're going to try to bait some of these fish, and we're going to use a fish called the mossbunker. A lot of people know him as menhaden. It's a very oily fish in a herring family.
Okay.
And we'll see whether we can't hook a bluefish on that. If you hear this sound, you just spin that handle, the reel will lock up, and you'll be into a fish.
Okay.
And we're marking
We're
fish.
just letting it drop there. We're not reeling it in.
Well, what's happening now, the boat's drifting along, so if you got your bait in the water...
We're moving.
Right.
Okay.
And I counted off about 30 feet of line because we were reading the fishing machine at 30 feet down.
Oh, okay.
And now it's a matter of whether we can entice them with that piece of sirloin.
Come on, baby. We know you're hungry.
Jimmy, you have any A1 steak sauce on the boat? Maybe they want a little steak sauce.
Despite the absence of steak sauce, I can feel our luck beginning to change.
Fish on!
Fish, yeah!
Come on, Dolly.
Looks like Kevin's going to need a little help with this one. It's time to bring in the ringer.
Okay, you gotta help me out here, Kevin.
Okay, when he does that, when he runs, you're just going to let him run.
Okay.
You're going to pump him up
Yeah.
and let the rod down slowly and reel him.
So I'm doing.
And you always want to keep pressure on him.
All right.
And then you're going to pull up
Pull up.
and you reel down to the fish. And you pull him up a little bit, and when he takes line, you let him go. You got a big fish there.
Really? No, you got the fish.
The camera doesn't lie.
Oh, he's really.
After about 4 minutes of tugging, I finally get a peek at the reward.
Oh, nice
Oh,
fish.
wow,
that's a
I
good
see him.
size.
I see
Nice
him.
fish.
Oh my
Keep
God.
punching
Whoa!
Yeah!
Oh my God. Is it a bluefish?
This is a bluefish.
Got him on a tin.
The limit for catching bluefish is 10 fish per day per person. So I could technically keep this one, but we've decided to just catch and release.
Well,
Exhilarating.
you know where to find them, Colleen.
So it wasn't exactly my catch, but I do think I helped to get the ball rolling.
Remember, the real excitement is you can pull out a 50-pound fish out of here, and it happens. Well, I think this one's a little lighter than that,
A little bit lighter.
but not much.
Wow, that's a good one.
All right.
You know, it's the excitement of the hunt that you're going to get a large fish, which is one of the neat experiences in an urban area in New York City, is because you get small fish, but you've always got that opportunity to catch a 50 or 75-pound fish not too far from shore, and that's what keeps all the fishermen coming back for more.
People don't need to have a boat to fish.
No, absolutely
there are
not.
piers, right?
Yeah, and there's lots of access for fishing up and down this end of eastern Manhattan.
Urban fishing isn't limited to Manhattan. There are spots all across New York's 5 boroughs where you can catch fish.
Any area that has a little cove or some kind of structure, pier in the water, typically you can get striped bass and bluefish, and those are all along New York Harbor. Staten Island is a brand new fishing pier, and that essentially is a great fishing spot because it's right in Raritan Bay where there's a lot of fish tend to congregate before they make their southern migration.
There are also numerous freshwater spots in the city, including the pond in Central Park and Brooklyn's Prospect Lake, making urban fishing accessible to all city dwellers.
And once they get into like urban fishing, they start getting a connection to the environment and a connection to the natural resources. So if it's managed properly and there's awareness by the public, we can go into the next century and hopefully have healthy fish populations and recreational experiences for all New Yorkers.
It's away, there's no phone, and it's just a lot of fun. So it's a good way for us to get away, right in the middle of the city.